Well, hello there, Sagittarius, the centaur of the hour. We definitely have your energy forward right now. Got your blue moon coming in on the scene this Sunday. So you're probably really feeling these energies. You are in a deeply alchemical process. You are straddling the lines between the past and the future that is yet to be. And this is a magical moment going down right now for you. This is when you can finally turn the page and set the foundation for your future in a whole new way with a new light of understanding. We're just going to kind of drop into your energy and see what message wants to come through for you in the lead up to your blue moon. These energies can certainly play out over time, so this is just an introduction to the energy of what's coming to a culmination for you as you head into that full moon that you are hosting. You're definitely going to feel this personally. So those of you that are Sagittarius moons, every time you got the moon coming in your moon sign, it really marks a significant turning of the page for you. So clue into that, that certainly any of you with strong Sagittarian placements are definitely going to be feeling this. The amplitude of this blue moon coming in, it's closing out a pretty major transformational cycle for you. I think life looks a lot different now than it did even a year ago for you. Also, if you are a Gemini rising, you are Sagittarius Descendant, so you'll certainly be feeling this full moon, this blue moon, absolutely in the sector of your relationships, okay? So let's dive into this. I'm working with my shadow light deck here, where I merge the glow in the dark tarot, representing what still needs to be transformed, with the gold foil tarot that represents what's already been alchemized and where your blessings lie. So let's see what is coming in for you, Sagittarius. Baseline energy. Oh, I like it. King of Cups. So there's something that's really transformed in the heart space, something that's gone through a transformation in the emotional sector. Could be that you're ready to take an action that's more based in what you're feeling in your heart space. Not coming at something from a more analytical position, but more trusting your intuition, trusting your emotional flow. There could be somebody preparing to take an action towards you as well. This is somebody who's coming from their heart. There could be a water sign connected to this energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Doesn't have to be, but it does show that the energy is springing more from the emotions, more from going with the flow. Less contrived, less trying to plot something out, less trying to strategize, understanding that there's a different kind of energy at the helm right now for you. So let's see what's happening to transform your emotional reality, your heart space right now, Sagittarius. Let's see what's coming on through for you. King of Cups, baseline energy. See, I told you, no more strategizing. This has been what is going through a transformation. It's like something used to be more caught up in the headspace, like trying to figure out the right angle, the right approach to somebody, or perhaps somebody has had this approach with you where they've been really up in their head. What move do I need to make? And now instead of thinking about it, they're actually just going to take the action with the Ace of Wands there. It's a powerful action, okay? I think it's been premeditated for quite some time. This is not something that's just sort of fly by the seat of your pants. This is something that has been longly considered and has finally arrived at a place where it lands in the heart. It's like, yeah, this is the right action to take. It's time to execute the action, all right? I feel like whatever action this is, it's just the starting point. It's going to come to its full fruition of what gets set in motion here by the fall, okay? There's also something about really looking for the right window of opportunity to take this action. Somebody is absolutely considering the right time to take this action. What's on the basis of the matter there? Oh, well, we got justice coming on through. So absolutely something being balanced out in this situation. It's been weighed out carefully. Absolutely connects to a karmic cycle too. There could be a Libra connected to this situation. All right, let's see what this is for you, Sagittarius. What is this coming through for Sagittarius? What action is this that is coming through in relation to Sagittarius? Okay, quite a bit. All right, that wanted to be left out. Let's see, bottom of the deck here. Wow, okay. Emperor taking charge in a situation. Aries energy. With all the action going down in Aries, the fact that we have Saturn, Neptune in Aries, which represents being able to make something out of nothing, being able to root a dream in material reality. Also with Aries and Chiron, this shows me that there's been a long integrative healing process, also deep reflection on the self in relation to whatever this is. There is some dream that's getting rooted in reality. Something was considered for a long time. It was held more in the mental space. And now it's coming to fruition. It was 6:06 on the clock as I went into that. So yeah, this is really an indication, perhaps of two fortunes that have been held up at the crossroads. There's been a lot of mutual consideration, maybe on both sides. There could be a Gemini connected in this situation. But now with self-knowledge in play, something is transforming, something's underway. It's really interesting here because we have kind of like an alchemy sandwich. That's how it's coming through, okay? We have all this like kind of crossroads energy thing that's been transformed. This is what's being prepared to be set in action to move out of the crossroads. So I'm going to look at this first, okay? Because there's been a lot that needed to be alchemized along the way that's been kind of blocking energy. I see there was an initial point of transformation in your situation. Let's see what this is. Yeah. You did do some healing work around something that was an old karmic cycle. Something that had been in process for quite a while. It was something that eventually gave you a new understanding. I do feel like you experienced some kind of healing. There's also Virgo energy coming in here. This is something that was held up for a long time, but I do feel like there was some kind of relief from a particular cycle where you'd been held in a pattern for quite some time. You were missing certain elements, certain information you needed to shine a light forward. I do feel like you got some information that you didn't have access to before. This brought about some kind of healing, some kind of moment of feeling like, okay, now I have a new understanding. But what's really interesting to me is you receive this illumination. And as soon as you receive this illumination and a little progress in this area where you experience some healing, in came the blocks of the shadow. And sometimes it can be like that, right? Sometimes with the light of new understanding, you can recognize that, ooh, there's some stuff I need to clean up here now that I have a better understanding of this situation. I mean, Sagittarius, it's coming in with your energy with temperance here, and we have the Seven of Swords. So these could be subconscious aspects of yourself, things you weren't aware of that maybe had you making some choices, moving in a certain way that really was rather counterproductive. You may have had a false perception of a situation, and then you actually had something illuminated for you that made you recognize that perhaps you did some things that held up some kind of healing longer than was necessary because you weren't operating with all the puzzle pieces. You didn't have a full picture of the situation. This created delays. I do feel like there were sneaky elements at play that were causing delays in a situation, holding things up here. It's coming out in the shadow as a block. And I think once you became aware of this, then it sort of gave you a feeling of relief, because now that you understood the true nature of the situation, it's like it gave you the information you needed to correct something where something really veered off the tracks. You finally understood what you needed to do to balance things out. You also understood what the sneaky aspect was that was tripping up a situation, continuing to throw it in gridlock here. All right. So your energy out here very strongly. We also got Virgo out here as well. South Node energy. Something that was at work in a situation that was causing holdups. And here, again, we have more shadow with light coming in. So, yeah, I think that once you saw it, though, it caused a lot of distress. It came in as a tower to you, you see. It came in as a tower, a moment of awakening. You misjudged a situation. You misjudged a person. You acted in such a way that it created some kind of further imbalance or delays in a situation, caused holdups. Caused holdups in a situation. I think it held you up for a long time, okay? You might have tried to push something forward a little recklessly too in some cases. You thought that you were taking the right actions, but something got illuminated for you that made you realize that you wish you could take certain actions back. That's the way it's being revealed here. 11:20 on the clock. I mean, this is coming in with justice and judgment energy here. Again, Libra energy to your energy. So there's something here that you saw more accurately. And that's what's turning the wheel of fortune for you. It made you realize that there was a tricky element in play that you needed to transform. And you saw into a mystery. I do feel like it was a mystery, like you didn't understand, why isn't this working out the way I thought it would? Why is this held up? I thought that I was taking the right action, but now I'm finding that I'm being held up here. I'm experiencing blockages. And I think once the truth became illuminated for you, it did cause a bit of a tower for you. And it did cause you to have to light up some things, maybe look at some past actions you took there. But it did give you the information you needed to transform a tricky element. Now, there could have been a fixed sign involved in your situation. A Taurus, a Leo, an Aquarius, a Scorpio, your energy in here too. There could have been multiple people involved in your situation. And I feel like once you had knowledge about the tripping point, you set to work to set something right. So let's see what's being transformed here, because I clearly see whatever the block was has been transformed, and that's what's informing what's coming in here now. You recognize you were investing your energy in the wrong direction, or in taking an action that wasn't going to bear any fruit. So you stopped wasting your time invested in a direction that was just holding you up. You pulled your energy out of that and you're reinvesting it in a new way. Let's see how you're reinvesting your energy in bringing about justice in a situation where there was injustice. It looks like injustice that was related to either like a lack of understanding or some kind of tricky, deceitful element that was at play that caused the wrong actions to be taken. And even in saying that, I feel like even when we veer off the path or we take the wrong action, nothing happens by accident. It's always so something can be set right, or so we can have a new level of understanding. And I do feel like whatever action you're taking, it does put you back in your power here. We got Aries energy coming in. And what's after that? Now you're able to do the work. Now you're able to work something out. This could even be working something out with another. And look at this. Look at what we got coming in here. All the transformed aspects. King of Hearts coming in with an offer to work something out with another. Balance things out. After reflection and maybe even realizing that some of the choices that were made were coming from the wounded parts of yourself, with that deepest wound of Chiron, with Aries and Chiron there. It's like you had a new perception. You recognized what was being an oppressive force in the situation, what was holding things back. You lit up the subconscious aspects, things you weren't looking at before, things you didn't want to acknowledge. For some of you, this took a deep dive into the past, but it is the very thing that's moving you forward now. Okay, Cancerian energy, Capricorn energy comes in here as well. Okay, there's movement forward, but the movement forward comes in after you move away from something that you falsely invested your energy in. And this is what brings about the transformation. So where you were held up, you're getting a firm yes from spirit because the correct action was taken here. And you found the way through. Taurus energy. You're getting keys to freedom here that will bring in special gifts, alleviating your fears. But see, the only thing that was holding you back was the prison of your mind. You were caught up in your head. You didn't have the information you needed. And also, it was a lot of inactivity. That's what was holding you back, not taking action. I think you had to go through the Hall of Mirrors a little bit, you know, integrate some tough stuff from the past. Also, you had to really step into your power and realize that you had more ability than you gave yourself credit for transforming the situation. Now, your ruling planet, Jupiter, is currently in Cancer. And this energy is coming to a crescendo point. We got your full moon coming in. The next new moon that comes in is in your descendant sign, Gemini. That comes in on June 14th. And that's when this Venusian energy really amplifies, where we get to this blessing energy that's going to come in with the mirror moon. Also comes in on the 14th of July in Cancer. Okay, so this is a big portal of transformation that we're heading through. You're getting to the other side of a long, arduous healing process. You're starting to understand where you had some missteps. But in those missteps, you also figured out what you needed to do to heal yourself. And that's what's aligning you with your star. So this is actually really positive energy coming in here. And it does look like some kind of emotional offer coming forward, some kind of healing happening in a situation. To me, it feels like the healing is coming through changing how you're investing your actions. Like you were taking action in such a way that was more informed from the place inside of you that was wounded or that hadn't experienced a healing yet. And so it was perpetuating more blockages, perpetuating more pain. And now you're coming more from a place of a new level of understanding. Your actions are based on what you've healed. And that's going to create quite a different result. So I feel like the actions you're taking are coming from a new place of self-knowledge and healing. And that's what's transforming the situation here. So something new can happen for you, Sagittarius. So this is positive energy. I do see that whatever action is being taken here, and it could even be your receptivity to who's coming towards you as well. Just being willing to actually open up to healing a situation where maybe you were very closed off to it before because of certain fears you had or apprehensions you had in relation to what occurred in the past. Also, some sense of distrust. You could have experienced betrayal in a situation. You could have experienced a situation too where there was some kind of third party involvement as well. And so it really put your hackles up. Maybe your heart was too guarded for a long time. But as a result of you doing healing work and really investing in this, pulling out your energy from a space, a place, a connection where you weren't feeling appreciated, weren't feeling valued, where you felt like you were put on the back burner. That's what's really changing things for you here. And now there feels like there's a legitimate emotional offer coming in here. I'm going to call it an emotional offer because all I know is it's bringing out some kind of balancing out in a situation where things were held up for a long time. Now, characters we've had on the board so far, we got Cancer here, Taurus, all the fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, strong Cancer energy coming through there. We also have really strong Libra came through. Your energy is very invested in this, whatever this is. We got Virgo here as well, and Aries on the scene. Okay, so a lot of characters in play in this situation. This could have been another aspect that complicated something. Yeah, this is coming through. There's some kind of emotional offer coming through, but it's coming through on the other side of you pouring into yourself. You taking the energy out of a situation, out of a certain connection, out of a dynamic where you felt like you were continually being thrown back into the swords energy, continually being put in your head, continually facing fears of the past, feeling like you had to protect yourself because you were dealing with some slippery elements. You were dealing with some energies, some situations, some people that you simply could not trust. And there was also a lot you had to integrate that was in relation to your past and some subconscious influences that you needed to bring up within yourself and have a look at and integrate there. But I do feel like you're experiencing a really profound healing right now. And I feel like there is some kind of emotional offer. This could be a love offer or somebody who's wanting to heal something with you. This will likely come through in the summer sometime. And I feel like it will come through within that window between the Gemini new moon and the Cancerian new moon. Bring some kind of blessing. Let's see what's at the basis of the matter of this. Yeah, this is a very special connection. This is somebody who does feel like a soulmate to you. This is somebody that you feel a deep sense of connection to. This could be a past connection too that you're healing here. And there is something beautiful coming through. Let me do one more round for you and see what we got here. But it looks like you've gone through quite a transformational process. So this is really beautiful. And I like that there's no kind of undercover energy here anymore. It's not anything sneaky. It's more that you're really ready to be daring. Okay, I'm really ready to be daring. I'm ready to open my heart. I'm ready to get out of my head. I'm ready to act on something. Yeah. See, it's on the other side of something that was an injustice that's being balanced out here. So this is good. Transformation of the energy. Now, I wanted to flip up, but it didn't, okay? There's a little shadowy energy that went to cover that. There might still be a little, yeah, there's still a little shadowy aspect here that you need to be aware of. This might be what's illuminated with the full moon. It's around a Page of Cups energy, Piscean energy here. It's a blind spot, okay? It's something that kind of puts your hackles up. This is an energy that you need to move away from because it kind of keeps you too much up in your head. So I feel like there's still one little tricky element, one blind spot left here. This could be related to some kind of connection where maybe you were getting a little bit of guidance from somebody that might be a bit questionable. Highlight this. What is this Page of Cups about? You know, this wanted to slip out. It's almost all the way out. I'm going to take it. Ooh, and when I let it out, it flipped upside down. This is an influence that's been creating a lot of confusion, a lot of illusion for you. Okay? Feels like a friendly influence. Okay? This could be somebody that you were getting some kind of advice from. Maybe you were sharing your plans with this individual. Something will be illuminated for you with this, with the full moon. I feel like this is something that's coming to a head with the full moon. More details about this energy. Related to some kind of confusion, some kind of illusion. This flipped up in the middle of the deck, but see, it got covered. What's this? You're protecting some new beginning here. You're going to lay down a new foundation. This is something that was rocking the foundation of what you were looking to establish here. It looks like in a key connection, okay? Any more details about this for Sagittarius before I get an overarching theme for you? Okay, it looks like nothing else wants to come through in relation to that. I feel like you're on much more solid footing now, though. Okay, so this is good. You have an accurate understanding of this situation. There's really interesting energy here, though. It's like something was transformed here and it wanted to slip off the deck and fall away. So what is this? It's the self-knowledge you have now that's freeing you from the crossroads. And it could have something to do with a key connection here that you're trying to work things through with. Somebody you're trying to heal something with. We got Gemini energy here too. Communication as well could be really key in this situation, and communicating with the right individual. Okay, let's do a cut of the deck and see what we got. Shadow energy here. There could be some manipulation that's been at play in your situation. We do have Gemini energy coming through here pretty strongly. The manipulation could have come through communication, okay? It also could be coming through spiritual work with the Magician there in the shadow. And we do have the Hierophant here, also in the shadow, Taurus energy. And this signifies that something was keeping something held up for quite a while. Could have been keeping two here in the crossroads, feeling really stuck, okay? So, yeah, there's been something here at play that's been throwing a wrench in the works, creating some illusion around a situation, confusion around a situation. Could have been spiritual work around a situation, manipulative communication around a situation. But I feel like this is what's being highlighted for you. And it's transforming a key connection for you, okay? So something's being rectified here, which is good. Let's get you an overarching theme. Bottom of the deck, yeah, change is coming where you felt held back, where you felt restricted. I do feel like this is something real karmic. This goes way back. It could even go back for lifetimes. This could be connected to a particular group of people that you've actually journeyed through many incarnations with, where something was in a holding pattern for a long time, but you're finally seeing it, like you're making the connection. And that's what's allowing a transformation to happen here. And it really kicks off with your full moon here. So be ready for something to be illuminated. Be ready to sort something out. You know, apples and oranges, apples and oranges. This person says it's this. That person says it's that. What do you feel? Okay? Your energy, your house coming in there. What do you feel? That's what's important here. That's how you transform your world. Once you tap into that, you'll find the way through. You have the right take on a situation, so trust your gut, okay? I wouldn't be turning to any friend for advice where you've been feeling a little unsettled by the results of what this person has been telling you about a key figure that you're trying to iron things out with. Trust your gut. Trust your own perception, okay? Let's see. Overarching theme, what does Sagittarius need to focus on with their full moon coming in here? What does Sagittarius... Whoa. All right, that's a lot. Rest, restore, replenish, get grounded out, because absolutely something is coming to a close. Something is being balanced out, and the way something's being balanced out is through letting something else come to an end, okay? You are going to need to restore and replenish, though, for what's coming in. It's coming in with the energy of justice, all right? So justice is coming in for you here, and I think there is need to integrate what is coming to a close, though, because there's some sense that there's some rough feelings about what's coming to an end, and you really want to shake that off before you step into this new cycle. So this energy is coming out really interesting because you have several cards here, 4 of them coming out upright, but you have this blocking energy here. So I feel like this is what you're kind of integrating here. Yeah, again, creating through the ashes. Okay, so there may be a key connection where there's still like an energetic cord of attachment there that you do need to free yourself from, so you can really step into the new cycle that's getting ready to come into bloom for you. With this release, this connection that you're letting go, the old cycle that's being released, that brings a lot of joy in your life. So really do your best to slough off everything that happened in the past, come into the present. It will serve you well. Don't forget what you learned from the old cycle, though, because that's your protection moving forward towards you from any other tricky influences. You do have the light you need, the light of understanding, the light of self-knowledge up ahead. Don't forget the lessons you learned. And yes, be a little daring as your full moon comes in. It's time to explore the path less traveled. Do something you haven't done before, and your path is opening up for you. So the path that you're stepping on with your full moon is a path of power, and let's see what it's bringing into view for you. Okay, trust your own intuition in regard to this. You have the light of understanding you need about how you're moving forward here. You're entering a new spiral of manifestation where you have dreams coming into view. Also some answered prayers you've been sending up. It's between you and the moon. This is an initiatory process. It really does require you to trust your own intuition, to trust that what you want also wants you. This may be a bit shocking for you. It may be a surprise, you know, when you really discover that the only thing that was holding you back was just being a little off with your coordinates because of some helpful advice you were receiving from some friend that you were confiding in about a choice you were trying to make. But I do feel like you're getting every indication here coming through spirit, perhaps through a loved one that's already passed on. You feel really close to them. They're sending you signs, synchronicities that are lining you up with joy in your life. I think you can already see that the light is starting to peek through the shadows. You're getting through a very difficult time. And there's also something coming through here about the more that you trust your intuition, you'll really understand that you have your own gifts in this area. You have your own talents that are really being activated here. But I like this energy because the more you boldly step onto this path and you just trust your own sense of knowing here, the more that there is this beautiful manifestation coming in that brings a lot of joy and healing in your life. So go with the change. It's in your favor. I think you're not going to be held up any longer. You're in the last stages of releasing something, letting go of something that held you back for far too long. To me, it really feels like you're starting to trust your own voice and your own guidance to navigate this connection that you want to come into alignment with. And it looks like you're going to find a very positive reception with whatever's coming in here. Whether this is somebody coming towards you or you're going towards somebody, I think that it's an equally matched desire here to work through something, and however it turns out beautifully. And there may even be something about you two bringing your energies together. You create something together. You both share some talents that are amplified when you bring these energies together, and maybe it spirals something beautiful into creation that's been needing to come in for quite some time. So I like this. Good energy, Sag. Godspeed.